Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Author Collaborative. As always, I will be talking to another author whose book I have read and enjoyed. My guest this week is Preethi Baladev, and I have read her book Divine Promises and I really enjoyed it. She will be joining us in a while and we'll be discussing that book in detail. I'll also be asking her about her writing process and how she came about writing this book. So do stay connected. It's going to be a really interesting conversation. I see that Preeti has already joined us, so I'm going to invite her and start the episode. Hi Nilshri, thank you for joining. Good to see you. Preeti, I've sent you a request. See if you can accept it. Please stay connected with us. As always, Instagram is not allowing us to go live without any hitches. There seems to be an issue and Preeti is not able to join me. Please stay connected and sorry for the delay. Yes, Nilshri. As always, Instagram is giving me trouble. Yes, Nilshri, that's right. That's nothing new for us. Preeti, if you are still here, see if you can accept the request or send a request from your side. Let's see if that might work. Can you let me know in the comments, Preeti, what is the issue that you're facing? Hello. Hi, Preeti.
Hi.
I can see that you have joined, but I can't see your video. So I am assuming that the viewers are able to see both of us.
I hope so too. You're able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
That's great. Okay. I'm sure the viewers
Uh,
are able to watch
yes.
us both too.
Anyone from the viewers, if you can let us know in the comments if both of us are visible or not. So hi, Preeti. Welcome to the show. Very
Thank
happy to
you
have you.
so much. I'm so happy to be here. Life is really the energy is next level.
Yes. Okay, Neelshri has confirmed that both of us are visible and audible.
That's
Perfect. So
wonderful.
we can continue then.
Right.
Hi, Kindle Girl. Thank you for joining. Hi, Harish. Thank you for joining us. So, before we start the episode, Preeti, please tell the audience about yourself.
Well, I started off as a software engineer. I think half the world is that way. Okay. So I mean, family came in between. So that was like 3 years. And then I quit after my first child was born. And
Okay.
somewhere after that, I had lost my identity. Okay, so I tried a whole lot of things, and because of that, because of this thirst to learn and to be something more, I'm now a yoga teacher. I have done my certification, in power yoga in Akshar Power Yoga Institute, and I taught 50 plus women, and then I became a content writer, a mindfulness coach, and finally now I am where I want to be. I'm a published author because the written word has held so much of magic for me since very little, maybe grade three when I discovered my first book and read
Okay.
it, end to end. So I am where I am, and that is writing. And very happy to say that my debut book was published in May of last year. So here I am as an author, and it's been a brilliant journey. So blessed, so lucky because not everyone has the means as well as the heart and the passion to keep trying something new to be better every day. Okay, so that is a little bit about me. Really lucky and blessed. So that's my blessed.
That's wonderful. And we have Nilshri here. She's also an engineer turned author, and she's commenting that, wow, proud of you, woman.
Thank you so much. To be acknowledged by someone who's been in that journey, it's again, it's magical. I hope that all the women and the men, whoever is here, if your heart is asking you to do something, please just do it. It will never lead you astray.
Yes, Brijesh is here. Hello, Brijesh. Thank you for joining. So, we are going to talk about your book, Divine Promises. Before I say anything about it, I just want to show the cover to the audience. It's wonderful. You can see Hanumanji's photo in the background, and the place that you have shown in the cover also has significance. The people who have read it or are interested in reading it would understand what the cover means.
Yes, so I shout
It
out to my
actually.
literary agency, the Bookmakers. They are the ones who designed this cover, and it came out in one shot. I think there was some divine intervention. I gave them my inputs, and they came back, and it was done. It was finalized in less than an hour.
Wow,
So I
that's
think, like I said, something
amazing.
from up above.
But
I was
I
so
think
happy with that
the
cover.
cover that is available on Goodreads is different from this one, right?
Is it? No, actually, this started out as a novella a couple of years
Oh,
back. So I will come to that
okay,
later. So I blew it up into a full novel, because
okay,
I felt that the
okay.
story demanded more.
Oh, that's interesting to know that it started out as a novella and now
That's
it's a
right.
full blown novel. I think
It's a
it's
full blown.
250 pages if I'm not wrong.
That's right. That's right.
Yes,
So it started off as a less than that, a 170 odd pages book. And then my literary agency was like, it would be good if you could push this out,
right,
into
right.
a full blown novel because it needed that. And yes, that was another roller coaster, from a novella to a novel, right in the middle of my family life and responsibilities. I think, again, like I said, divine intervention. Someone up above wanted this done.
So, I am going to read out a few passages from the book so that people can get an idea of what the story is all about. I'm going to read from the first chapter itself because I think I have mentioned it in my review also that it begins like right into the action. We are thrown right into the action from the first page itself. So I think it will be justified if I read from the first chapter and the beginning of the story itself.
Thank you, thank you. It's special when someone else is another reader enjoys what you have written.
And also, I have to mention that I don't read this genre much, which is the mythological fiction and science fiction. I don't read this genre much, and despite that, I enjoyed reading the book. So that's I think in itself is a statement, and the people who enjoy this genre would be able to enjoy it more. I think.
Wow, I think you made my day. I think you made my week. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So I'm going to read out now. This is chapter 1. The heat in the cave was unbearable. The lava lapped gently, deceptively against the base of the cliff inside the cave. It was beautiful to watch, the way a snake is beautiful to watch. You admire its slithery, sleek magnetism, but you stay well out of striking distance. The four hooded figures inside the cave were playing with fire, literally. They wore heat-resistant suits, the kind designed to withstand space travel, and yet it was stifling hot within minutes of entering the cave. One of their team had already succumbed to acute heat stroke. The temperature within was too intense, and the men were taking turns to finish what they had come for. They had state of the art mountain climbing equipment that was suspended over the cliff edge. One of them was perched over the edge and hauling something up the cliff face. Outside, the former intelligence man walked back and forth, not so much in agitation as in barely repressed frustration. What is taking so long, Raman? Are these men qualified? The tall Spaniard narrowed his very alluring eyes. He did not like being spoken down to, and certainly not by this small brown man who spoke big words. Mr. Rudra, it is very hot in there. These men are the best at what they do. Besides, the effort they have put in, coupled with the scorching heat, is making them exhausted. Cut the academic bullshit. I want results. That device has got to be destroyed by tonight. Is it happening or not? So this is the first page of the book, and we are right in the action where something is happening inside that cave, and there is something that they are taking out which needs to be, controlled. So we know we are curious to know what that device is and what is happening in the cave.
Yes, I mean, coming from you again, it's like I'm watching repeat. The whole idea of action adventure is very, special to me as an author. Why? Because action is such a visual thing, right? But to convey that in words and to cook up a scene where through words so that the reader feels what I am seeing, what I am
Yes,
thinking, what I'm feeling, it really is such a challenge, and I thought, okay,
it is.
since I'm
Yes.
anyway going in, so that is the whole idea, I'm full into this. You need to be there in the scene and watch it
Hmm.
like a movie. And this review has come up to for the Divine Promises. Very happy to say that it feels like they are looking at a Hollywood movie, and an Indiana Jones type of movie. So
Yes,
really, it was such
exactly.
a pleasure
Indiana
to.
Jones type, especially because of the cave setting.
Yes, yes. I think somewhere that has been included too. All the things that inspired me, all the movies, the scenes, the people. It's all there in that book. So I call it. It's my child, literally, because it's been conceptualized with
I think you
all
have
of my
mentioned that
essence.
in your acknowledgements also, that
Yes,
this is
yes,
like a child for me.
yes. And it's surreal the feeling to hold that book. It took so much of effort and so much of thinking.
Yes.
I'll tell you that book has so much of me in it as Preeti, the person.
Hmm.
So yes, when you hold that book, you're holding a part of me.
Oh, wonderfully put. So, based on my reading, I have a couple of questions for you, and I'm hoping to learn something about writing from you, from those questions and your answers.
Thank you.
So, my first question to you is, what inspired this story? And take us through the process of the whole thing, right from the implementation, right from the ideation to implementation stage.
Right. Well, to begin, like I said, I'm a voracious reader. I'm an addict. Okay, so sometime in PU, when I was 18 or 19, I came across this book. I don't know how many of you have heard of it. It's Temple by Matthew Reid. So
I've
it's
heard about it,
yes.
but I've not read it, but I have heard about it.
Right. So there's a lot of things going on, past is weaving with the present.
Hmm.
There's riddles to be solved. A lot of that, and I thoroughly enjoyed the book that I have read it like 4 or 5 times now,
Hmm.
And then when I came into like reading Indian authors, right, I felt that this genre of action adventure is very underrepresented by Indian authors.
Hmm.
Okay, so that was always there in my mind. But then, yeah, life came in between, a lot of responsibilities. Didn't really think about writing.
Hmm.
But sometime in 2019, the Hanuman Chalisa was playing. I don't remember where. I think on TV or on the phone. I'm not sure. And
Hmm.
just there was a flash of Lord Hanuman
Hmm.
in red stone. It just came into my mind.
Okay.
And I don't know how, what, because I haven't seen something like that. It was just like a blur, a vision, it just comes and goes. And then I went online to see what kind of stones I'd like, all that, the crystals and earth forms. And, I just looked online, like, is it a
Hmm.
garnet or is it some red topaz, something. I kept searching. I never found anything even close to what came into my vision. But what I did find was a lot of references to ancient artifacts and figurines from ancient civilizations and all that. And of course, Lord Hanuman came up, like kept popping up. So I
Hmm.
think he put that in my mind because he wanted this book out, this book to
Hmm.
be written. So I did a lot of research. The ideas came up, and suddenly I was like, you know what? I think it's time to write an action adventure story. And believe me, in 7 days, like an obsession. I was mad, I have written like 5,000, 7,000 words a day, and in
Wow.
8 days, 8 days the novel was complete.
Wow.
And not editing first draft, second draft. No, it was the final draft, including the timelines. And if you see in the story, there is a
Hmm.
timeline. There is a deadline, or things are going to get
Yes.
cataclysmic within days. So that it even that takes time to pan out, like how
Hmm.
many, where should they be doing what, because it should be done in 2 days. The entire
Yes.
275 pages is less than 48 hours. So
Hmm.
that kind of timeline takes effort and planning to get into
Yes.
writing. But it was so miraculous that in 8 days it was done. you know and
Hmm.
this was, I don't know if it's a big deal, but for me it was a big
It
deal
is a
because
big
my,
deal to be able to
yes.
write a book in
mm,
8 days. Oh my God, that's stupendous.
Really, and I think my family just came together and realized this mad woman wants it done. Okay, so we better just indulge her insanity, otherwise we are going to get it. And my younger daughter was just 9.5 months.
Oh.
I was lactating, I was breastfeeding her. And I
Oh,
remember there were days when I used to sit with her in my arm and typing in one hand,
oh my
because it had to come
God.
out. Okay, so it was an incredible experience. I think the fact that I have read so much and so many books in
Hmm.
all genres kind of helped me in this. But at the end of the day, it's seriously, God's work,
Hmm.
which is why it is called divine promises. Because
Yes.
I felt that this was the Lord fulfilling His promise to me. Always wanted to be a writer, just didn't know it consciously. This sealed it. So that was my journey.
That's amazing. I don't know. I don't have words to say how impressed I am with that. We have Nilshri and Brijesh also who are saying that it is a big deal and it's a great achievement to finish a book in 8 days.
Seriously, I'm so happy that it got done. And yes, subsequently I approached a literary agency, like I said, the
Hmm.
Bookmakers, and he really loved the first draft out of the few chapters that I had sent to him, and he gave me the idea that would it be possible to expand it into a novella, sorry,
Hmm.
into a novel, because the novella was more down south. It was between Rameshwaram and Sri Lanka. So
Hmm.
he said, could you move it into mainland India? So that's what
Ah,
I did.
okay.
So I moved the
Oh,
entire
so that's how
plot.
it came to be based in India.
That's right. Okay, so it
Okay.
was the novella was also kind of based in India, but he felt that since we are looking at an Indian audience and Lord Hanuman and Lord Rama, it would be good if you got it into mainland India, which is what I did.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
that was another experience because again everything had to be shifted. The timeline had
Hmm.
to be shifted, the
Right.
areas and more characters had to be introduced. So that
Hmm.
was one more insane journey, which looking back was something that pushed me out or expanded me as an author, as a human being, as Preethi.
Wow. Nilshi here is relating to what you said about lactating. She's saying that I have
Yes,
done the same at times, my son in my arms and typing.
seriously. I mean, Nilshi, I know what it took.
Okay, so my second question to you is along the same lines. Since we are talking about the book so much, I now want to get involved in the process of writing the book. I want
Right.
to you to tell us about any particular incident or a scene from the book or a chapter from the book which is inspired by a true incident. And how did you do research for it once you got the idea of the inspiration?
Right. Good question. Because, yes, I wouldn't say inspired. I don't think it was consciously inspired either. But there was this incident when our new home was constructed. I was very young, I think 13, 14.
Hmm.
My sister, elder sister. So once the home is constructed, I mean, down in South India, there is this ritual of putting the drishti uh, bomma, they say, drishti doll on the building to take away all evil eye and all
Hmm.
negative energy. Okay, so
Hmm.
that is a huge terracotta statue of a Rakshas, and it weighs like 2.5 to 3 kgs. You know?
Okay.
So my sister was standing like in the driveway, and this was placed on the parapet, the window parapet above her. You know?
Hmm.
So she was standing there. I think it was a gust of wind. I really don't know because the statue is placed very securely. I mean, that is the whole idea. You can't just
Hmm.
place a 3 kg statue wherever you want and be done with it. But it was placed so securely. Something happened. I don't know. It just fell down and it grazed her this way, or just on her head and fell. You know? At that
Oh.
point, something told me that divinely something has protected you, right? So I
Wow.
felt that this divine promise, not the book,
Hmm.
but a divine promise that says, I am always with you. I am keeping you safe and
Hmm.
protected.
Hmm.
That is the whole concept of this book. There is a danger. You may feel like there's nobody with you, that it's a disaster. It's just going to be a catastrophe.
Hmm.
But no, there is always the Lord or some force, some universal power that's
Hmm.
ensuring that all is good for you and that you're safe. Your loved ones are safe. You're protected. Okay, so this incident has stuck with me. I don't know why. I was very young when this happened. Okay, but still it has been there in my head, and maybe that is what inspired this book. And there is one incident where the Lord does help him in the form of a statue. So
Yes.
if you are interested to know, you can read the book.
Yes, I,
And
I I remember it. Now that you're mentioning it, I remember the exact scene you are talking about.
that's good. I mean, it's really nice to when you say something and the reader says, "Yes, I know where that came from." So that has been there.
That was really interesting to know that. Of course, the incident that you shared was also very inspiring, and we have faith. We have to have faith in the you know
That's right.
uh, the upper power, as I say. There is always somebody up there looking at us, protecting us. And then when you tell me that that particular incident in the book is also inspired from what happened with you, it's just for every reader it feels special.
Yes, it's. I really hope that everyone who reads that book feels that presence of the Lord. At every point. It may be an action adventure, but at the core, it is just that be trust, just trust, blindly trust because someone has your back. You know? So that is why. And as per research, like I said, I'm an extensive reader. So I just did a little bit of technicalities like with the lava, what can withstand temperatures, and then what do intelligence agents do? And rogue intelligence agents who have left the on bad terms, left the bureau on bad terms. I did a little bit of research on that, but most of it is my own imagination. So I have just taken loosely just to keep it non-controversial because I think in India the whole concept of religion and faith and all that it holds a lot of emotional value. So I don't want to play with that, which is why very loosely it is based on Lord Hanuman and Lord Rama and fulfilling promises, but there is no controversial things happening over there. So research wise,
Yes.
it's purely online, Google and Wikipedia, and I've kept it very friendly and no controversy at all, which is
Yes.
how I deal with life.
Very politically correct, you should say.
Point. I think that should be taught just so that you get your voice across without being dumbed down.
Yes.
Like they suppress you if they feel, and then
Yes.
your voice is lost. So getting your
Yes.
point across in a politically right way while instigating, emotions of feelings, I think that's an art.
Yes. Okay, so that brings me to the end of questions that I had for you. You have also read my latest book,
Yes.
and now the floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you. Actually, when Manali reached out to me that it would be good to go on a live, I was like, yes, I would like to read your book. And then she sent me the link and I started reading. And I was on this deadline. Oh God, Friday I have to finish it. And I need to finish the book and let her know how I feel about it. Okay. But then 30% into the book, it was so beautiful, so lovely. I said, Preethi, stop. You are doing an injustice to her book and Manali. You need to savor this,
Thank
and
you.
that is what I did. I just slowed down. I'm reading each chapter, taking 5 minutes off, coming back and just like tasting it, the flavors and the smells, and I'm just
Thank
going
you.
very slowly, which is why I haven't
Thank
finished
you.
much.
Thank you
I
so
have only
much.
finished 45% of it, but I will finish it, and I feel like reviewing each story in it. Okay, so it's
Oh,
so beautiful, this whole
thank you.
concept of linking a song, something that evokes so much of feeling and emotion, link it to a story. I think it's fabulous.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so
I
much. Means a
I
lot.
really enjoyed it. Okay, so I'd like to read from Manali's book. It's many
Uh,
stories, of course.
let's show them the cover also
Yes.
first before we go into the book. So this is the cover of the book that Preeti is talking about,
It's
heartstrings and harmonies.
it's so sweet and it's so
Oh,
simple and so
thank you.
sweet.
Thank you
you
so
know,
much.
I can feel my heartstrings being tugged.
Oh,
Okay, so
that feels so
uh,
nice.
it's really it's so difficult. It looks so simple, but I know how much of efforts and how much of you has gone into that book. I
Yes.
can feel it. Right. So to do justice to it, I'd like to read a little bit. This story really spoke to me. It's titled "It Didn't Happen to Me. Why Did It Happen to You Then?" Okay. So
Yes.
let's just begin. Shut up!
Yes.
That's not true. Binal snarled, arms crossed defiantly. The pout that Arvind had come to associate with such outbursts followed in about 5 seconds. Okay, sorry, what did you like to have there? Arvind asked, suppressing his chuckle. Arvind had assumed that his best friend, as was a habit, would be ordering a cheddar veggie sandwich and a cold coffee. Adding to this assumption, he made the grave mistake of making a snide remark. Do I even need to ask you what you'd be having, Bino? You're as predictable as the social media comments on a couple pic. Rabne bana di jodi, made for each other, looking good together, a pair made in heaven, cutest couple, and my favorite, couple goals. Woof. She wanted to laugh. Well, of course, he was right about both things. But just to prove him wrong, She decided to put him in his place. Following Arvind's lackadaisical apology, she snatched the menu from Arvind. With a face scrunched up in annoyance and determination, she pored over the offerings. I will have a cheesy toast and a caramel latte. Arvind nodded quickly, turning his face away. The pursed lips didn't miss Binal's eyes, though. She knew him too well, and sometimes it was a curse. Now she would have to endure not one, but two food items which weren't her preferred ones. The things we do for love. The thought crossed her mind, not for the first time since the last few months. Soon they took their seats at one of the empty tables. Here there is a song that comes in, okay, which is the whole idea of the book. Okay, so Manal, you really need to sing a few lines at least, otherwise the whole charm is lost.
Yeah,
So please go
okay,
ahead.
I'm going to try. I apologize beforehand because I don't have a singing voice. And also because I have Nilshri here who's a very good singer. So no judgments, please.
No judgments. I'm sure it will do it justice. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So before I sing the song, I just want to tell everyone that each story in this book is inspired by a song, and the titles also are based on Hindi songs. So the title of this story is "It Didn't Happen to Me. Why Did It Happen to You Then?" And it's based on the song from Ahate from Ek Mein Aur Ek Tu. So the song is like this. मिलना नहीं है मुमकिन इतना बताओ लेकिन हम फिर मिले क्यों है तुझको बुला ना पाऊं तुझको भुला ना पाऊं ये सिलसिले क्यों है सब कुछ वही है पर कुछ कमी है तेरी आहटे नहीं है.
Fantastic. Who said you don't have a singing voice? Maybe you're amazing.
Thank you so much. You're
Right.
kind.
And it's such a beautiful translation. It's not possible for us to be together. Tell me this then. Why did we have to get together? I can't call you. I can't forget you. Why is it so? Everything is the same, but something is missing. The sound of your being isn't there. Wow, this
Yes,
is so beautiful.
thank you so
Right.
much.
So,
So when you were talking about the cover, Nilshri's comment reminded me actually that the whole idea of the cover was I had gathered a team of 19 people to help me decide on the cover
right.
because when the first draft of the book was ready and I wanted to zero down on a concept for the cover. I had a few ideas, and when I began designing the covers, it started with one cover, and then I was like, no, let's try a few more. Maybe this concept will work. Maybe this story will look good on the cover. So I ended up designing more than 10 covers.
Oh, wow.
So
We like to see
ultimately,
all of that.
instead of clarity, it caused more confusion in my mind. So I reached out to people on socials and in my circle. I'm a part of a reading club also. I reached out to those people and asked them, would they like to help me? And their enthusiasm was something that, got me really excited. So I created a group of 19 people. We I shared the all the book covers that I had made, and then on the basis of the votes, this cover was finalized.
Oh, that's so good. I mean, sometimes too many choices also mess you up. I know that. But now I'm curious
Yes,
to see the other covers. Because
I
this
will
is
share
so
with you.
beautiful. That would be great. Okay, so
I will share with
good.
you definitely. And
Right.
in fact, two of the covers were so close that I had to, we there was of course we had a democracy and we chose the one with the highest number of votes
Mm,
ultimately, but two of the covers were so close that we were close to losing out
final.
on friendships and everything in the group. There was too
Yeah,
many
that I can
arguments that
understand.
the group was clearly divided into two sections which wanted the two different covers.
And then after that, Pinky Pinky Ponky.
No, this cover won by I think a vote or two.
Oh, wow. Okay, fine. So we do have the best of the best then.
Yes,
Great, fantastic.
it was
Right.
very
So
close.
it happens, but I think this one, but it's very evident why it won. Right. So this
I'm happy that it won actually because later, after a few days of the release of the book, I got to know from somebody else that the other one, which I'm now calling the Critics' Choice cover, this is the popular choice and that's the Critics' Choice.
okay.
But a few days after the book was released, I saw that other cover, Critics' Cover Choice.
Mm.
It was used by somebody else on their book. So
Okay.
we are saved actually.
Oh, that's great. Then maybe you should write another book of the same kind, and use all the covers. Right. So
Maybe. Let's see.
this whole concept of linking a song to a story, how did it come about? Uh, like what exactly inspired you?
So two things. One major reason is that I am a big movie lover, especially
Mhm.
Hindi and Bollywood songs. I love them to the core, and there's hardly any task which I don't have in which there's no music in the background while I'm doing it.
Understood.
Only when I'm writing and it requires 100% of my attention, then the music is off. Otherwise, there is always a song on in the background. Music is always going on. So
Mm.
that's one top reason because I am a music lover myself. And the second reason was that a few years ago, somewhere somebody said or somewhere I heard that you cannot combine two forms of art to be able to enjoy them completely. You
Okay.
have to give them individual attention and
Yes.
immersion in order to enjoy and give them their worth. And somehow I took it very personally. I was like, no, that's not right. I always do
Good.
two forms of art, or
Mm.
two forms of creative things. I'm always doing
Right.
most of the time. Like when I'm painting or when I'm doing coloring, music is always on. Sometimes when I'm reading, the music is always on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not always true that you can't have two forms of art in one or in a combination. So I
Right.
wanted to do that, and you have the result in the form of this book. In fact, both my novels also have songs in the stories as a very integral part of the love stories.
Fantastic.
And I have written a poetry book also, Knight in Shining Armor, where
Mhm.
I have combined each poem with a song, and I have told people that this poem is best paired with this song.
Understood. I think whoever that person is, you know, seriously, thank you. Because sometimes it's the negative that sparks something so wonderful
Yes.
that you start thinking that okay, maybe it came disguised. So really, I'm so happy that that person told that because like you said, the result is here,
Yes.
and so beautiful, so like a wow.
I'm very happy actually, and that
Mm.
most of the people, like you are saying, they are telling me that the song is such an integral part of each story
Exactly.
that without the song, the story wouldn't exist.
True. I mean, I don't even watch Bollywood all that much. And none of the songs I know,
Oh wow!
but just reading the Hindi lyrics and then reading the story, it was such a beautiful mix. And I couldn't even think of the story without the song or the song without the story.
Thank
And I
you.
went and Googled a few of the songs to just to hear it so
Wow!
that I know what Manali was doing when she was, or
Oh
hearing when she
wow!
was writing this.
Thank you.
So,
That
yes,
means a
so that
lot.
brings me to you're so welcome. That brings me to the second question. It's so difficult when, like you said, when you have to integrate two forms of art, the visual and the auditory and the writing, right? So, how did this whole novel pan out? Like how many when you were writing, what were the experiences that you were going through, right? So, it would be really nice to know because this is such an unusual genre.
So if you notice, the stories and the songs have very similar kind of backgrounds. So in the movie, wherever the song might have come, in few of the stories, wherever the song is coming in the movie, uh, my story is similar to that particular movie story, or somewhere they are matching the mood and vibe of the story.
Right.
So I have chosen songs where the lyrics match the overall message and whatever I'm showing in the story or whatever is happening with the characters or what they are feeling in the moment. So
Mm,
that was the whole idea, that I wanted to match the song's lyrics seamlessly with the story and what the characters were feeling in the moment.
right. So, how
And
long did this take? I mean, it's sounding so magical, but I'm sure there was a lot of groundwork that had to be laid before the
oh
magic
yes,
really happened.
yes, there was a lot of groundwork. In fact, so the starting point of this particular book was when I received the first prompt, which was write a story inspired by your favorite song,
Okay.
and that sparked the idea of the whole book. when I wrote that story, I was like, maybe this can be converted into more than one story. Why
Mm-hmm.
just stick to one story with a song which is, inspiring me to write this story? I can have many songs which can inspire many stories.
Wow.
So that's how it all started.
Is
And
that
sorry.
amazing? That's amazing, I said.
Yeah, so that was it began with the story title "This Intoxicating Evening," which the Hindi song for that is "Ye Sham Mastani Madhosh Kiye Jaye." That was the first story that I wrote for this book, and after that, every writing prompt that I came across or that came my way, I only looked at it with one angle, thinking that can I convert this prompt into a story which is inspired by a song.
Mhm.
So, yeah, and the second process after that was Googling the songs which would match that particular prompt or whatever story came into my head after reading that prompt.
Right. I mean,
And
it's mind-boggling. I can't even think about the sheer logistics of googling the song and finding the ambience. I mean, your stories read like an ambience. I don't know if you
yes,
can
thank
understand
you.
that, but it's like perfect. Every song is so perfect for the story, and
Thank you.
really, I don't know how to get this, but everyone should read this. Yes,
Thank
art can
you.
be amalgamated in such wonderful ways. So
I'm very
again,
happy to hear that.
like,
So yes, firstly zeroing down on 29 of each of those songs,
mm,
and then deciding which lyrics would go with a particular scene. That was
mm,
also another challenge in itself.
right,
Because after choosing the song, I had to zero down on a particular stanza or those
mm,
particular lines which
right,
would
right.
match the scene that I am writing in the story.
Yes, and beautifully done. So
Thank you.
seamless, as smooth as butter.
Oh,
It's really
thank you so
beautiful.
much.
So
Thank you so much.
that's the. I mean, I think I'm privileged to have got my hands on your
Thank
book.
you so much. That makes me very happy. I think we are at the end of the long questions that we had for each other.
Right.
So we come to the best part and my favorite part of the episode, which is the rapid fire round. Uh,
Mine too.
so what we'll do is, Preeti, we'll go back and forth. One question I will ask, one question you ask. Okay.
Sure, sure.
Shall I begin?
Yes, please.
Yes. So, my first question to you in the rapid fire is there a character from Divine Promises that you dislike and why? It cannot be the antagonist.
I actually like the antagonist. At least he had his way,
Yes.
or he was clear in what he wanted, which is not the case everywhere. Anyway, one character I really disliked, even though I cooked him up, is the grandfather. The hero's name is
Mhm.
Rylan. Okay, so
Mhm.
Rylan's grandfather. He did things which were basically, breaking trust. I wouldn't say right or wrong
Mhm.
because that's perspective. Again, there's no black and white in the world. It's
Mhm.
it's gray. Okay, but then yes, he broke trust. He broke his faith, the faith in him, and then he did something without the consent of the
Mhm.
person, the most important person in the whole plot. Okay, so I cannot reveal much because then it would be a
Yeah.
spoiler. You know?
Spoiler,
But
yes.
yes. So his grandfather is someone I dislike mainly because you are partnering with a person, you have their trust. Okay,
Mhm.
so they can be the worst demon or the worst monster on earth, but that doesn't give you an excuse to break trust. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why I dislike him.
Ah,
Yeah.
now you have given me a different perspective. I was looking at the grandfather in a different way. Now, now I'm looking at him differently.
Right. And the thing that he blames it, not blames it, but he attributes it to the divine.
Hmm.
Yes, I totally understand. It is the divine play, and you're not really the doer. It's all up from up above. But
Hmm.
still, breaking trust is something which is it. I cannot, So I don't really like him. But then he had to be that way, otherwise the story wouldn't have panned out.
Yeah.
Right. So,
True.
so my
Okay.
rapid
So,
fire question to you,
yeah.
Manali, fiction, non-fiction, poetry. I think you have done all of it, right? So which do you enjoy the most writing?
Uh, writing poetry and reading fiction.
Reading fiction and writing poetry. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a beautiful combination. Good, good. So, I think if you have written any poems, I would love to read them.
Yes, I have written two poetry books, and I regularly write poetry on my Instagram and my blog. So you can check them out
Okay.
anytime.
I did see a few posts, but I didn't realize that you have written. My bad. I mean, I am going to rectify that right now. Right.
Yes. Okay. My second question to you is: must visit religious or spiritual spot according to you, and why?
Okay, that's a difficult one because I'm not a very religious person, but I'm an extremely spiritual person. Okay, and there's a very huge distinction in that.
Yes.
Okay, so you
Thank
want
you
me
for
to
saying
see
that.
me
Most people don't understand the difference.
understand the difference, you know. So I don't really do the puja and putting flowers, but I'm very tuned in with my energy. I'm very tuned in with the energy that is holding me here at this moment,
Hmm.
you know. So yes, I'm very very spiritual. So based on that, the Sun Temple in Konark calls out to
Hmm.
me like I don't know, you know, maybe it's some past lifetime thing which I do believe in, you know, that energy. I haven't been there, you know, but something draws me. It comes in my dreams. I get visions of not visions exactly. It's like I want to go there, you know, and I've told
Hmm.
my
It's
husband
calling
that
to you.
by this birthday I want to go there. You know, so it's already in the pipeline. But yes, the Sun Temple in Konark really calls out to me. You know? And it's not the
Okay.
deity or the religious aspect or the
Hmm.
god that is there. It just calls out to me, and also maybe because it's more of an element kind of a temple, you know, Surya or
Yes.
light, so it gels with my spirituality. Because
Hmm.
without the sun, we are nothing. Okay, so the architecture, the place where it is, you know, by the seaside, it really calls out to me. So yes, I will go there and I will document my experience and maybe write a story on it.
Please do. I
Thank
for
you.
one will be looking forward to it.
That's wonderful. Right. So my question to you. Uh, your favorite story in harmony and I mean sorry heartstrings and harmonies. Why? Because I know 29 of them are there and each one is special to you, but there'll be that one story that really sits in your heart and will be there forever. So which story would that be?
Oh my God, this is difficult. But one story that I really enjoyed writing was with the two brothers, Manav and Mayank. And actually, because a lot of the elements from that are based on personal
Experience.
experiences. I don't
Right.
know if you have read that story yet or not. It's titled "The World Slogan: Stay Vigilant,"
Not
and it tells the story of uh, two brothers, two siblings. An elder sibling and a younger sibling. The elder sibling is an overachiever and
Mhm.
excels at academics and everything, and the younger sibling is a little laid back.
Okay. Okay. So that's your
So
favorite. Okay. I think I'll after the session I'll scroll through and read that first.
I had a lot of fun writing that because there's a lot of humor in it, and uh, I don't know if it came across, but I was laughing while writing it. So
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, it's difficult because you're so into the story. You have to get this on paper. It's not many moments of laughter or joy or humor, you know. So good to know that you got that. So I'm going to read that first thing after the session.
yes, it's the one titled "The World
World.
Slogan: Stay
So,
Vigilant."
okay, great.
Okay, my next question to you is your favorite rendition of the Hanuman Chalisa, because there have been a lot of renditions in the past decade.
That's right. I think many would agree with me, but I think Shankar Mahadevan has really captured the essence of or the
Hmm.
power of the Hanuman Chalisa.
Yes.
You know, so I listen to him a lot. But yes, I do keep googling because Hanuman Chalisa is very close to my heart. I do a lot of sadhan with it and a lot of Hanuman Chalisa sankalp. It's like it's so in me that sometimes out of the blue I just chant some stanzas from Hanuman Chalisa.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why the first book is based on Lord Hanuman. You know, my
Hmm.
debut book. Anyway, so I think Shankar Mahadevan has really got it, you know, very apt, just the way I would like to hear it. You know?
Okay.
And that being said, I would love to, if possible, I don't know if it is, but if Tulsidas himself could have recited it in some way and I could hear it, I
Yeah.
think that would be, you know, really wonderful to
Yes.
listen. But yes, in my opinion, Shankar Mahadevan has really, you know, done a great job with it.
Okay. Okay. There's another one that I particularly like.
Mhm.
It is by Shekhar Ravijani, and he has also done a good one, I think.
Okay.
It's a very calming kind of a voice that
Ah.
he has.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I like that one also.
who is this? I mean, I didn't catch
Uh,
the
so uh,
name.
the musician duo, Vishal and Shekhar. If you are aware, they are a musical duo in Bollywood, and
Yeah,
the other half of the duo, Shekhar Ravijiani, he has also done a rendition of Hanuman Chalisa.
right. I think I should listen to that because the
Yeah,
calm version
it's
is not
beautiful.
something I really listened completely.
Yeah,
So I will do that.
it's a very subdued version of the Hanuman Chalisa, and the visuals are also beautiful. The lyrics are come as the singer sings the song,
Right.
and it comes with visuals of Hanumanji. So it's very
Understood.
beautiful.
Nice. I think I will take a look at it.
Yeah.
Right. So, any personal incidents in your life that inspired any story in heartstrings and harmonies? I think you have told that about the two brothers, but anything else? I mean, really
Uh,
personal to you.
so two of them actually. Yes, the brother story with the story titled "The Wall Slogan: Stay Vigilant," and there's one more uh, with the two friends where one of them is trying to catch the bus. It's a rainy day, and two friends are trying to reach their college on time. And one of them is in the bus, the other one is in a car. But the car breaks down, and she catches the bus, and and the one person who's riding the bus, they stretch out their hand for them to
Oh,
get into the bus.
okay. Okay. Now I'm really curious. I mean, what happened in your life to, to inspire that?
Yeah, so something similar has happened, but not in the same exact way. We were trying to catch the bus from the coaching class, and
Mm.
my friend got on the bus, but I was about to miss it, and she stretched out her hand, and I got into the bus. It was really funny.
How sweet. So nice. So that's really wonderful. I mean, it's the little things that stick on in your mind, and then
Yeah.
someday it comes out in some way because it's so close to your heart. Great.
Yes, and this story, let me just go back. I remember the song, but I'm forgetting the title of the story. The
Right.
title of the story is wait. Uh, okay, I'm not remembering the title of the story, but the song is Atrangi Yari from the movie with Amitabh Bachchan and Farhan Akhtar. So the song is like इस बेढंगी दुनिया के यारी संग है हम यारा अपनी
Mm,
तो यारी अतरंगी है. So
good.
that's the song that's in the story. It's about
That's
friendship.
wonderful. Oh, great.
Oh
I mean,
yes,
now
but
I think I will.
it's the seventh story. My companion of this crazy world.
Okay. I think I just opened it and then we were, ready to go live just before I came into session.
Yeah, so that's the title of the story, My Companion of This Crazy
Nice.
World.
That's
And the bus incident is inspired by by a true personal experience.
wow, beautiful.
Okay, my next question to you is a mythological fiction movie or show that you have enjoyed in the recent years.
Mythological fiction. Very recently, I had seen Hanuman, which is a Telugu movie, but yes, it has been dubbed into other languages. I think Hindi, Kannada, and all the other languages.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's very
It
recent.
has got
You know?
some very good reviews also, I think,
Yes,
right?
yes. It's really lovely movie, and yes, a lot of fiction related, obviously, because it's so it obviously because when you're dealing with the divine, there's a lot of miracles and magical
Hmm.
stuff happening. But yes, I really like that movie because if we could watch it as a as an entire family. There was no
Hmm.
controversial things, and yes, at the end of the day, Lord Hanuman being praised, and the visuals are a treat. It's
Okay.
wonderful, and the music is next level. That song Raghunandana Raghunandana. It's
Okay.
beautiful. So now it's
Okay.
keeping on playing in our home, and my younger daughter has already learned the song too.
Wow.
Okay, so that
Oh,
movie really.
wonderful. Nice.
Thank you. So that movie really, made an impact. So and yes, in Hollywood, films such as National Treasure,
Hmm.
that I like movies like that. So it's not
Okay.
really mythology
Hmm.
as such, but it's a lot to do with history and what happened in the past, and then that showing its face in the present to make it better. The past coming into the present to make it better.
Okay.
So that kind of movies and books, including like I said, Matthew Reilly's Temple, they
Hmm.
really click with me. Yes,
Okay.
so yes, I love reading, and this genre I really love reading: fantasy, thriller, mythology.
Okay. Okay, thank you for those recommendations. I
You're
I've
welcome.
been wanting to watch Hanuman because I've heard very good reviews and ratings
Mhm.
are. It's a very highly rated movie,
Yes,
but
yes,
I
and
don't
it's
think
very
it's
simple.
out on OTT yet. Have it?
And
Has it
I
released
think
on
it's
OTT?
coming on Z5 very soon, so maybe you
Okay.
could catch it on Z5.
Yes. Okay. I will definitely because I've been waiting for its OTT release.
One,
As I mentioned, I have heard very good reviews about it.
yes, I have one recommendation. If it is still in the theaters, it's playing in the cinemas. Please go and watch it in the theaters. Why? Because it's a visual treat, and
I
the
know.
screen really matters.
Yes.
But
I
that
would
being
have
said, I'm
loved
sure you
to.
can.
Yeah, I would have loved to, but I have my own limitations because I don't live in India.
Okay.
My
Oh,
options become
okay.
limited.
Yeah, okay. I am not aware of this. Where do you live?
Netherlands.
Oh, wonderful place. Do you get to see the Northern Lights? I mean, just a
No, no, no,
question.
no, no.
Okay.
We are not. That only happens at the north end, and we are not a
Uh,
Nordic country.
okay, okay. That's one on my bucket list. Watch the Northern Lights before you become a light. Right. So I have one
So,
last question for you,
hmm,
Manali. If there's
hmm.
one character in your book that you'd love to spend time with, who would it be and why?
Again, I think I would be. It would be either Manav from the story about the brothers because he's really funny.
Okay.
He has a very dry sense of humor, the kind of the brand of humor that I like, self-deprecating and dry sense of
Mhm.
humor. So that would be one character. Another would be either of the friends from that story, the friend wala story.
Mhm.
Uh,
Nice, nice.
so
So I think if we really look at Manali, you could say that the characters have a little bit of you in each of them. Huh?
yes, yes, for sure. At
That is
least the
why I
story
think it's
that
so
have been
beautiful.
inspired by my personal experiences, those characters reflect my personality.
That's wonderful. See, because I think that's the whole magic of writing. Because they see you in all of your form, then you form this connection with all your readers without even being consciously aware of it. But
Yes.
subconsciously it's there. So I think that's beautiful, and we get to read Manali in each of those little characters. So really nice.
Thank you so much. That brings me also to the last question that I have for you. Since we have already spoken about your book, I would like to know your ideal cast for Divine
Oh
Promises.
wow, you can actually see it as a movie. I think that's the
Yes, I
ultimate.
can.
That's the ultimate compliment to an author. So, okay, let me think about this. I think Rylan, the hero, would be someone like Seth, or
Hmm.
because if you see, he's a very guy next door, not really a hero material,
Yes, yes,
something like that, and very quirky and
yes.
does things out of the blue, but then somehow it works out for him, because why? Divine intervention.
Hmm.
So I think Steph would make a really good Rylan.
Hmm.
And that being said, I would love Madhavan also in the role.
Hmm.
Um, R. Madhavan, because again,
Yes.
he's got that
The
very
unconventional
relatable,
looks. Yes.
exactly. So very relatable, goofy, but serious when the situation demands it. So
Yes.
yes, so Rylan, I would like to see Madhavan or Seth.
Hmm.
Maithili, the heroine, very beautiful, very accomplished, extremely talented with a temper. So I think Tapsi Panu would make a great Maithili,
Yes.
or even a
Hmm.
Samantha would do.
Ah,
It would really
yes.
do a good job.
Samantha would actually be a very good choice. I can see
Exactly.
her carrying off that tomboyish look also.
Yes, so yes, I think should be great. And among the villains, I think Agent Rahu would be Sunil Shetty, because he's
Hmm.
got that. Now, the present Sunil Shetty is not anything like the previous, what we
Yes,
have seen.
yes,
He's got that edge to him, which would be
yes.
like wonderful as a rogue intelligence
Hmm.
agent. So
And
his
he has already
sidekick,
done that kind of character in Mehuna.
I
So,
think so. Maybe when I was writing it, I kind of based it on him with
hmm,
his face, in while writing. Okay? So his sidekick, the second villain, would be probably um, someone like Akshay Kumar, maybe
hmm,
very soft, but with that tinge of evil, which is
hmm.
not very evident, but there. Okay,
Yes.
and grandfather would be, I guess, Boman Irani, because he carries off any role so fantastic. Very
True.
meek, but doing
True.
all the power moves at the in the background behind the scenes. And grandmother, I think, would be Jaya Bachchan, because she
Oh,
does
yes.
bitter and cruel. She'd do a good bitter and cruel. uh. And
Yeah.
finally, Agent Garud, the most
Hmm.
very important, the good intelligence agent, would be Surya from down south, from the Tamil
Hmm.
industry,
Yes.
because again, now very in control, very passionate, but in control, knows what is to be done, which is what an intelligence agent is all about. you know.
Yes.
So this would be my star cast, and I hope someone gets to listen to this and
Are
brings
you
them all
listening?
together.
Are you listening, universe? We have our cast.
So it's been there, because whenever I write in the form of visuals,
Hmm.
put them right there in the scene, and there's always twists in my stories, in my books. There's always a twist. So I really hope that whoever reads my book enjoys it and sees it as a movie, and sees what I saw, and what I felt.
Yes, definitely. Because if me being a very irregular reader of the genre could visualize it and feel what you are trying to say, I'm sure those who have read the genre much more than me would be able to.
Thank you. That really means a lot to me as a first time author.
You see, he's loving our choice of cast.
That's so nice. Thank you, Neil Shri. I hope this gets done, and I will give you first day, first show tickets.
Nilshri has also said that in every live I get to know a new song from the book.
Yes.
Yes, please, because all the 29 songs, they are all not only different songs, different Hindi songs, but they are also from the different eras. So I've
Uh,
taken retro songs and I've taken songs which are very latest. Like there's a song from the Archie's movie, and then there are songs from the early 2000s to the mid 2000s also.
Wonderful. I mean, you must be having like a whole repertoire of songs. Wow. Really nice.
Yes. So, yeah, this was wonderful, Preeti. And tell me, before we wrap up, I want to know, is there something that you are currently working on?
That's right. I planned Divine Promises as a trilogy. Okay, so
Okay.
that was part one. There will be a
Hmm.
part two, and there will be a part three.
Oh,
Okay,
wonderful.
so thank you. I mean, I think it's the characters or the storyline demands it. You know, so yes,
Hmm.
I'm working on book two. I'm also working on the biography of a very close family friend from many years ago.
Okay.
That it's basically my father's colleague. So
Okay.
he's been through a lot of travails in life, and he wants it documented in the form of a book. So he's given me complete creative license to do whatever you want. I just want my story out. It need not even be in my name, or but I want this out in the world. So those two things I have taken up. I should see how to finish it up, because when I write now, I lose myself. I Preeti the mother, wife, daughter, all gone. I'm just Preeti the author. So yes, it will take a little while, but I'm happy that Divine Promises part one has essayed into part two, because like I said, divine intervention. I think it's all that matters, or it's all that really comes into life.
That's great to know, and because I have enjoyed the first part, I would say that I am really looking forward to the second part of the book,
That's
which is the second part
that.
in the trilogy.
Thank you. I mean, I will just for the readers who are looking for continuation, because sometimes the book leaves you feeling wanting more.
Yes,
So for
it
that,
does.
yes,
Yes.
I think we should. I will go ahead with that and finish it in record time. What about you,
Again,
Manali? What are your future plans?
so I'm the plan is to release the third book of my series. The novels that I have written are also part of a series.
Okay.
It's called Love Trials.
Mm.
The part one and part two are already out. Sometime in early 2025, the part three I'm planning to release. So that's something that I'm working on. Besides that, the plan is to release at least one poetry book every year. So by the end of this year, I would have one more poetry book out.
Fantastic. I mean, it's such beauty of thought and mind and heart. I think it should come out. It's otherwise you're doing us an injustice, I feel.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. And Preeti, I would love to have you on the show again whenever the book comes out. So I'm really looking forward to having you as a guest again. So please do bring the book out soon so I can invite you again.
That would be wonderful, and definitely, just it's already my hands are itching, that I should finish this. So yes, I will definitely. It was such a pleasure to be here. I love to talk about writing and the magic of the word, of written word. So thank you so much for giving me this platform,
My
Manali.
pleasure, absolute
Thank you for
pleasure.
reaching
And
out.
always a pleasure to meet somebody who's like-minded like me, and whose books I enjoy reading. So my completely my pleasure. And this video would be available on my Instagram. I think somebody in the comments asked whether this video will be saved or not. So yes, this video would be available on my Instagram and my YouTube channel. Once the on Instagram, it will be available right after we end this live session, and on YouTube in a couple of days. So that's about it. Thank you once again, Preeti. It was great having you. And that's it. Have a great weekend. Thank you, everyone, for joining me.
Thank you everyone for joining, and to thank you to Manali. Okay? And I'm going to go and finish your book now.
Okay, I'm really
Yes,
looking forward to a detailed review after you have read all the 29 stories.
yes,
Thank you so much.
definitely. I will put it up on all the review platforms.
Thank you so much. Looking
Thank
forward.
you. Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful
Bye.
evening. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
you too. Bye.